Good. Last day we have discussed angel in disguise. The introduction we have already discussed. Today we are going to discuss the story in detail. The story written by T.S. Arthur. He is an American writer. Naturally, his story is also based on the life in America. As we all know, that when we talk about America, we may immediately remember the big buildings and posh city life of America. But as we have villages in India, the same way villages are there in America, and village life is as not as very beautiful or very encouraging. What all problems we feel or we suffer in village life in India, almost similar situations are there in America and all the other part of the world. In our society, we have so many social problems, especially the use of drugs. After using drugs, the drug addicts are doing so many criminal activities, mischiefs, and it may be the disturbance in our life. And some tried to get money illegally to get drugs. Then commonly people try to drink alcohol legally, illegally they may collect it, use it, and some people sit at home and drink. Some may gather outside somewhere and they drink. Then after drinking and before drinking, there would be the chance of fight to each other, quarreling, abusing, disturbing others. Like that, so many social problems are there, not only in city but also in villages. Not only in India, almost all part of the world, the same situations are there. According to the culture and according to the situation in that country, the effect may be different way, but almost same situations are there. Here in America, also, the story is not in the modern sense. More than 100 years ago, this incident taken place. Then gradually, when we discuss the story, we may come to know that the situation is not the modern situation. When the story begins, a lady is described, a lady with three children. They are very young. John, Kate, and Maggie are the name of the children. They are the central characters in the story. The lady is a drunkard. That is something unnatural we may feel because according to Indian culture we cannot believe it. A man, a husband, maybe the head of the family, maybe a drunkard, and such possibilities are there. But the mother of three children is a drunkard is unbelievable, but that is the truth. It is it is in the background of a village in America. Naturally, the village people were not ready to cooperate with her because of her drinking habit. After drinking and otherwise, also she was very rude to the common people over there, and her impolite, harsh way of behavior, way of talk, irritated the people all over the village. So the village people passed a comment about her that nobody should cooperate with her. But all the people had some sympathy over the three children. They were young one. So people never visited her house to know what is the situation there. From a distance, they all knew how they were. Mostly, they were in a very um, poor situation. They were affected by poverty. Anyway, she managed to get some money to buy alcohol for the day. That was the only activity she had done. But the children were helpless, and whatever happened at home, they silently listened to it and bear it. One day, as usual, she drank too much, and when she just get down from the front door, she slipped from there and fallen down on the step of the front door, and she lay there motionless. Then naturally the children went to her to help her. Then they came to know that their mother is not alive. Then the villagers, one by another, came to know that the lady died. So they slowly and gradually, one by one, come to the hut, the poor house, and some of them helped her to help the helped each other to take the dead body from there to the room, and the dead body kept on the bed. Some of the villagers came with three different things. One is the cloth to cover the dead body. The other group of people brought some cloth for the children to wear because they were in a very poor, pathetic situation, and they did not have proper dress to wear to change. So some of them brought like that. The third group brought some food for the children to eat. Like that, they spent the day because according to the Christian uh, custom and tradition, after the death of a person, the dead body would keep for a day, and there till that time, the arrangement for the cremation should be done because they bury the dead body under 6 foot of a dig. They have to make it. For that, it would take time. Within that time, the religious rituals, means prayer and all, they would do at home. These all activities, the villagers altogether did it. Villagers were not very happy to do for it, but they were happy to do for the children. All the activities they have done only for the children. Within that time, before the cremation, they started talking to each other. Then who will take care of the children? This question passed from one ear to another, but nobody gave any answer to the question. Almost over. It is the time to take the dead body towards the cremation ground. Till that time, a farmer from the village named Jones, he came forward. He is ready to take the responsibility uh, of the man, of the first boy, the elder child. He is a young boy. It is not because of his sympathetic nature. He thought that the young boy is almost grown, and within 1 or 2 years he will be a grown up young man, and he can do farming in his farmland, and without any payment, he may get. Sorry for the trouble. You read that much. Later on, we may continue. Come back to the class. So, Farmer Jones had a secret plan that John's a grown-up boy, and soon he may become a young man, and his service will be free for him uh, if he takes his responsibility now. So Jones, the farmer, says that he is ready to take the responsibility of John. Then the other people made a deep breath that one third of the responsibility has been taken by somebody, and the other two, how it will be. That was the next question before them. Still the same question passed passed to each other because next two girls, the second one is a young girl child. Her name is Kate. Miss Ellis, another a lady, came forward and told that I am ready to take the responsibility of the second child, the girl child Kate. Her suggestion is also not because of the sympathy. It was also because of her benefit. She thinks that now Kate is a young girl. Within few years, she can learn cooking, washing, and cleaning, and she can give a proper training for Kate, and Kate will be a free servant at home, and she will be helpful for Miss Ellis. That was her thought. So she declares that she is ready to take the responsibility of Kate. Now only one. All the people again became very happy and satisfied because two-thirds of the responsibility is already over. Only one-third responsibility left there. One more child left there. The last one is Maggie. Nobody was there to take her responsibility because she is a disabled child. Few years back, when the child was playing, she was climbing up the window of the house. She fallen down from the top of the window, and she was injured seriously. Her injury was on the spinal cord, so she was not able to walk or move proper way. So she was totally bedridden. Nobody was there to take care of the bedridden child. So from that child, nobody expects any benefit. And she is now under treatment, and her treatment should be continued. But during that treatment or after the course of the treatment, she may be all right. Is not a hope in among the people. That means the child, Maggie, is a hopeless child before the villages. So each and everybody, the same way as earlier, talk to each other and encourage each other to take the responsibility of Maggie. But nobody took it very seriously. Till that time, the cremation process was till the end. The villagers came to came to take away the dead body from there to the cremation ground. There was a man who was responsible to carry the dead body by keeping on a cart. The cartman was ready with his cart. Other villagers carry the dead body from the room to outside the place and place it on the cart. Then the cart started moving slowly. All the people gathered there in and out of the house started moving just out of the premises of the house, come to the public room. Then the number of the people, the number of the followers started decreasing. When they come to the public road, one by one started moving towards their house. Nobody was interested to accompany the dead body towards the cremation ground. At last, the cartman and a few villagers left there to carry the dead body till the cremation ground and the dead body cremated there. When the dead body taken out of the house, almost all the people started moving out. Same time, Joe Thompson, a wheelwright. Wheelwright means that time there were no proper vehicle. Modern vehicles were not there. Only carts were there. Bullock carts, horse carts, like that cart were there. These carts mostly used a wooden wheel, and that wooden wheel covered by some metal so that it would not be spoiled soon. So that work was done by some expert. One of such person is Joe Thompson. He was comparatively rich in that area because cart repairing and wheel making was of somewhat costly, and he earned a good income out of it. He was just outside the room, and he was watching who may take responsibility of the young girl. Till that time, his wife, the Jane Thompson, was inside. She also came out. Then Jane Thompson told Mr. Joe Thompson to accompany her to go back home. He says that he will come. He stayed there. After some time, he observed that nobody was there to take care of the child. Nobody was ready to take the responsibility of the child. Till the end, nobody left there in the room except the child. So Mr. Joe Thompson entered into the room. The child was in a very pathetic situation. The child started crying and asked for help. Mr. Joe Thompson did not think too much. He took the child in his arms with the bed sheet. The child was suffering from severe pain because it was not easy for the child to stay on two arms. Still, the child suffered it, and the child felt safety. Joe Thompson carried the child from room to outside and the road towards his house. When he carried the child, it was not very easy for him to carry a long distance, but his hardworking nature and daily hard work made him energetic to carry the child till home. Miss Jane Thompson, from the first floor of her house, looked at the public road. There, she observed that her husband is carrying something. She very carefully watched and went to the front gate. Till then, Joe Thompson carried the child to the gate. Mrs. Jane Thompson asked, uh, why do you bring the this thing here?" Means the child is not considered as even a human being, as a thing she considered and told her, why do you bring this thing here? Joe Thompson was not ready to give any answer. He directly carried the child to a cabin in the first floor and keep the child on a bed there. Jane Thompson again came with an angry look. Otherwise, also the relationship between Joe Thompson and Jane Thompson was not good. The major reason was the lack of a child after their marriage. Their marriage After their marriage, a long period of time already passed. The hope for a child in their life is mostly disappeared. They became hopeless. That hopelessness she expressed through her angry and quarrelsome situation at home. So Joe Thompson was not ready to make any quarrel with her. Joe Thompson did not give any instruction or any suggestion to his wife because he knew that she may not be ready to accept it. After a question with Mr. Joe Thompson, he tries to go back to his shop soon because of the lady's death, the mother of Maggie's death. Both the husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Thompson, spent a lot of time in that village house. After the cremation only they came back. So Joe Thompson had a lot of pending work to complete. So immediately he went back to his shop to continue his work. He had the habit of doing his work, spending most of his time in his workshop, early morning till late in the evening, because his wife never gave him peace of mind at home. So he thought that it is better to spend his time in his shop. He was really a kind man. Many village boys came to him to repair their various toys, toys cars. He freely maintained it and repaired it for them, and really he was a kind man. But his look and appearance was almost like a rough man, and very roughly his look and appearance. As usual, very late he came back home. When he reached nearby home, he came to know that in Maggie's room there was light. No, nowhere else light was not there. It means that Maggie was accompanied by Miss Joe Thompson. He went just outside the room and looked at it. Then he came to know that Mrs. Joe Thompson, Jane Thompson, is talking to the child very politely and lovingly, and Maggie is talking to her very confidently and happily. Her pleasant face shows that their relationship is smooth. Joe Thompson went into the kitchen and created some sound there so that his presence he wants to convey. Jane Thompson came to the kitchen and provided him dinner. During that time, he expressed his that whether Maggie has been given some food. Jane Thompson told that she would be ready to. She would provide proper food, hot milk and toast. She is preparing to provide the child. After that, Mr. Joe Thompson did not ask anything seriously because he, his wife should not have an impression that the child is more important for him than his wife. Already the relationship between them is not a smooth one. Another unnecessary crisis he does not want to create. After some time, Mrs. Joe Thompson asked him, "What is your plan about Maggie? Whether you want to keep the child here? She is not willing to take care of the child." Mr. Joe Thompson told that he is ready to send the child to an orphanage, and it is not possible for him to carry the child to the orphanage in that night itself. The next day, he will go to the orphanage and describe the situation there. After describing, the manager of the orphanage will give the permission to carry the child there, to admit the child there. Then he will be ready to take the child to the orphanage. So his plan he clearly described. After describing this, Ms. Jane Thompson is almost satisfied. For a day, she is willing to take care of the child. All the matters related to the child she took care of. She believes that the care is only for a day, and if it is difficult for her, she is ready to bear it for a day. Then next day, as usual, Mr. Joe Thompson went to his shop, and as usual, he came back. Then he came to know that Miss Joe Thompson is not asking about the orphanage. It is clear that there is a smooth relationship between Joe Thompson, Mrs. Joe Thompson, and Maggie taken place. She is doing each and everything very carefully for Maggie, and now Mr. Joe Thompson also started receiving warm welcome, timely food, tasty food, and very loving talk, and earlier angry, irritating situation, and quarreling habit all when went away. Now, lovingly, very carefully, she is taking care of the child. At the same time, she is taking care of her husband. From that, Joe Thompson comes to know that there is a loving relation between Miss Jane Thompson and Maggie. After some days, Mr. Joe Thompson started coming home early and go to shop late. Means he is started spending more time at home than than in the shop. It means he is happy at home. Means like a hell. His house was earlier. Now it is like a heaven, like the heaven he feels. And earlier, the behavior of Miss Jo Thompson was very horrible. Now she changes into a very polite, loving wife, like a loving mother, and a very loving neighborly lady, like that for each and every people. She has been changed. Then Joe Thompson understood that these all are because of the presence of Maggie over there. Maggie's presence made all the changes. It means Maggie is like an angel. The presence of angel changed the situation. And really, the child is a disabled child, but her presence is like an angel at home. So the title of the story, An Angel in Disguise, is really about Maggie, the disabled child. So the presence of Maggie, the disabled child, at Joe Thompson's house made the house a different one, a happy, loving one. So that's all the story. All of you should read the story once or twice, then do the and the summary of the story also should be done. Then next day onwards we will do the poem and we will start the revision test and all. So till Monday, the completed bar workbook and the summary should be completed. And when you come to school, you have to bring it with you so that I may be able to check it. So that's all today's class. Bye.